Alzheimer's disease claims and your rights to your ERISA disability benefits. Now, as a ERISA disability attorney, I have handled a number of Alzheimer's claims, particularly involving those who work in accounting or in the stock brokerage business, or any business in which storing information, retrieving information, doing calculations has to be done quickly. And what happens in these cases is that we find that the Alzheimer's is a progressive neurological disease that impacts memory, thinking skills, and cognition. And over time, these problems get worse. If I'm consulted early enough in a case, I strongly suggest that the following be done. One, we get a copy of your disability policy and read it cover to cover so we understand what proof we need to submit to the carrier in support of your initial application. Secondly, we get a copy of your medical records and we review them cover to cover to see what's being said by you and in your doctor's records about your memory skills and your critical thinking skills. And if I don't see what I need to see, I always suggest that we get basic neurocognitive testing, which is objective testing that will demonstrate the nature of the organic impairment, the Alzheimer's disease, and the impact it has on the material and substantial duties of your occupation, because that is just one of the many important terms in your policy. We need to understand what the definition of occupation is, and we need to get a vocational evaluation opinion of the nature of those duties. Or we can perhaps glean that from your employer's definition of occupation, your employer's job duty description forms. But ultimately, we need to understand what the policy definition is. Is it your own occupation as performed for your employer, own occupation in the local economy, or in the national economy? Now, in the case of stockbrokers, I will tell you, most of the times I see policies that say it's how it's performed pursuant to the Dictionary of Occupational Titles, which hasn't been updated in about 35 years. So we need to put our heads together, if you will, to determine what the occupation is and the nature of the proof. That neurocognitive testing can establish the baseline, because many times my clients just aren't ready to stop work and apply for benefits. But as their condition progresses, then we are making sure they're giving a history of their symptoms and functionality, a decline in the symptoms and their ability to function, if you will, through reports of coworkers, even performance reviews. And then we're helping our client pick the right date to file that claim. And prior to filing that claim, I always want to get updated neurocognitive testing to document the progression of the difficulties. You can see it can take teamwork to pick the right date to get your ERISA disability benefits as a result of Alzheimer's or any other cognitive impairment. If you have any questions about your rights to ERISA disability benefits, call me today at 727-894-3188 for a complimentary consultation. I look forward to helping you get the disability benefits you deserve, regardless of where you live in the United States, regardless of your occupation, and regardless of who your disability carrier might be. 727-894-3188.